So we're back. Sorry about that. So we had finished the ring last time that we had left off. I think that's where we left off. And so I started doing the bottom, and Jess had shown you how she did the top. So now we're just on our second line of the fringes. So what I did is I put 3 white, 1 green, 1 white, 1 green, 1 white, green, 3 green, then a dark blue, and then a green, dark blue, and then a green, and then 6 dark blue, and then a white, blue, white, and then 3 blue. So now, to get your fringe going downward, I started off with 3 white on the first one. The next one, I'm going to start with 4. And then every time I go down, I'm going to add a bead so it goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way down. And then your fringes are going to slowly come like this in the V. And Jess is starting her second one, and she's done hers as well. So we pretty much following the pattern that she had done on this. So that's the pattern we're following. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'll put a picture in just so you get an idea of how to mix your colors. You could mix them anyway, but
you can put any kind of design that you want on it there. We're just pretty much, as you can tell, Sandra is doing hers a little bit different than how I'm doing mine. And you'll see there once we're done. You'll see the difference in it there. But it'll still be the same. And plus, don't forget, she's a perfection.
Sometimes, not all the time. I try not to be. Because that's what slows me down when I'm trying to get it perfect.
I tried to tell her, just let it happen.
Just let it happen, huh? So, I'm just having a heck of a time getting my beads in here, but I got it. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 5 more. Oops. Oh, and just in case some of you might be wondering why I started with the fringe and Jess started with the top, is because she's used to starting at the top, but I thought maybe it'd be easier if you just start anywhere where you're left off from doing the top part of your dream catcher, and that you do your fringe, and then that way you would pretty much know where to put your top. So if you have your top, you won't have it like lopsided. But see, she's pretty good at eyeballing it. She gets it right on.
Most times.
Most times. So it's 6.
Just like right now, I kind of messed up, but it's not so bad.
Okay. So I'm just finishing the second one fringe. So as you can see, I hope you can see, it's just a slight bead longer because I started off with 3 white, and on this one I started off with 4 white. And then you just keep the same number. I kept the same number all the way down. So all the rest of the beads are the same as you go along. If that makes any sense. But oh, and I'm not. We were going back on the video during editing because we go back. We do a bit of the beginning, show you how to start off, and then we'll stop the camera and go back and watch it as we're finishing off, so we can start off to show you what to do next. And we heard someone sneeze.
Yep.
In the background, and it sounded like it came from behind the camera. Now, I just want to point out that all my life I've been living with something, and so I just want to point out that in case you viewers hear any noises or bangs or talking or whatever, it happens quite often to me, so it's nothing new to me. But in case you viewers hear like somebody talking or sneezing like we did when there's nobody else around other than me and Jesse, yeah, I call it my ghostess. My kids say it's my best friend. So I don't know. It happens. You're gonna hear stuff, but you know, all we do is we ignore it. We're just so used to it. It's harmful. So this is the second part. See, I add because I added an extra bead here, it comes down nicely, like side by side. See, that's cute. I hope you can see it. But I'm going to take a picture just so you can see what I mean, and then you'll notice as I go along, it's going to go downward, just like on here, it's going down like a V. So I'll take a picture so I can edit it in. And then you can always pause the video to get a really good look at it if you want. Just so you know that I hope you're following the instructions we're giving. It's not every day that we explain what we're doing, because we just sit and bead and chit chat and
like we're doing now.
Joke around about life, about us, and so we figured why not make a YouTube video and
have fun.
Yeah, have fun, because I noticed on other YouTube videos they have where everything's all close up and the hands showing everything and that, and I thought, you know what, why not show videos of us beading, of what we do, and you know, show the real beading part of it, not just learning the beading. Like, we want to have fun, and so why not share it with you guys, and we can show you what we've been doing and other projects that we have undergo that we need to get done, but we'll eventually show you how to make other projects, because we do earrings, lighter cases, keychains, barrettes, a whole bunch of stuff. You'll eventually see. We'll show you along the way. But mostly just have fun, you know. Just have fun with it. This way, you know, you're getting a little bit to know us, and then once we start getting comments, then we can start interacting with you viewers out there too, you know, and then maybe you guys can give us ideas, and we could find out how to make them, and we'll make them and see if we can make different stuff out of it, because we're always changing ideas, always coming up with new stuff to bead and stuff like that, and it's really fun. So I don't think this thread's going to be long enough, so instead of tying it and knotting it, one thing about Fireline that's good is that I am going to, now that I have a short thread, I'm going to zigzag through a couple of these beads, maybe about 4 or 5 beads down, and then clip it, and it'll be nice and snug. And then when I start off, I'm going to come this way and go up and down maybe a few so I can come back up this way where I left off. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And maybe I'll draw a diagram, not a diaphragm, but a diagram to show you what I mean about how I'm basically weaving my thread back and forth, up and down, so I can
show you viewers.
Yeah. That you don't need to tie off, you just need to weave it back and forth across the beads, which is a lot better. And you don't see your knots. That's the good thing about it. You don't see your knots when you do it this way. And since it's fireline, it holds really nicely together. Keeps everything snug.
And every trippy. And every row you start with, you always add 2 extra beads in order for
See? I had weaved my thread up and down about four column of beads, and then I snipped it so you won't see any tie off. So I'm going to reload my needle, rethread it, not reload. And I'm going to start up here and weave it up and down, so I'm coming out on this second, the third fringe. So want to come out this way. So I'm going to start over here and weave up and down, so I'm coming out. And yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I'm like, okay, no. I don't need to say it. Okay, make sure we get enough here, because I'm gonna have a lot of fringes to do. So once again, we are using the Fireline on the 55 yard, and it's
6 pounds.
6 pounds. And it's the crystal. It's incredibly strong and incredibly thin. That indeed it is. And it's super great for these projects. Oh, and we're using size 10 C beads. Yours are size 10, Jess?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jess is also using size 10 C beads. And we just using gold rings that you can buy at any dollar store or Dollar Tree. They do have gold rings there, various sizes. So we got the small ones, the smallest ones we could find. So see, now I'm gonna come. So if I'm gonna go out this way, I gotta go up, down, down. So I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go in just before my first fringe I did through a couple beads, because now I don't want to tie it, but I want to make sure that it's not going to fall out either. And then now I'm just going to weave up and down until I come out on the other side. Oh, I wish I could. I'm going to come out on the other side of the second fringe. Yeah. Let's see if I can do this without pulling
And that's
my
kind
thread.
of tricky.
Yeah. Oh no, just these two. Okay. Like so. Got it. There. Okay, like so. See? Don't see no knot. And then I'm going to start my third fringe. Last time I started off with 4 white. Now I'm going to start off with 5 white and then do the same pattern of the beads all the way down. The reason why I'm taking pictures is because I'm going to edit it in between so you can see. I just figured it'd be a lot easier for you guys to visually see it. Some people are better at understanding if they actually see what the person's doing. We just don't want the cameras at our hands.
Mine's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, and then we can take a pic. Oh, we'll take a picture of Jess's as well, so you guys can see what hers looks like, and we'll edit that in between. Oh wow, I really like that. It's really nice.
And as you can tell there by the picture, I'm always adding 2 extra beads all the time. Until I get to the middle, then I'll show you what to do once you start the next row after the middle. But don't just try to do what I just did.
Wait, I missed that. What did you do?
I went to pull this there and I drew out of my hand. I pulled too hard.
Oh shoot. Okay. Never mind, don't mind me. I'm like, oh shoot. Okay. Okay, so we're going to continue doing the rest of the fringes till we get to the middle. So Jess can show us the different part that she does in the middle. Because I don't know. I'm going to follow her lead. So we're gonna when we come back, we're going to show you the middle fringe. And then we'll start the other end.
Good run.
Okay, we're back. And we finished all the fringes on the one side. So we're on the middle one. Jess can explain hers. For my middle one, say I start off with 3 for the white, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the one for the middle one, I'm adding 2 extra, so it hangs down just a slight lower than the 7th one. So the 6th one, yeah. So I just added, instead of adding 1 bead, I added 2. Now I just noticed that I was supposed to be adding every one extra 2. I only added an extra 1 bead. I I suggest that you add extra 2. But you don't have to. You don't have to. See, it still works. It still works. It's still coming down. It's just not as long and apart, is because I only added 1. That's why it looks a little different. It would have looked better if I did 2. So note to self, 2 beads every next fringe. If you want it to be nice and flowy like this one.
Flowy.
Flowy.
As for me, I'm just rethreading here to start the put the last row in the, as you can tell, this long one here. Just to put that last one, then after that I'll be starting back up again.
And when you go back up, you're going to take away what you add at the beginning. So if you add 1 bead at the beginning, you're going to take away 1 bead when you're going back up. Now if you add 2 in the beginning, you're going to take away 2 when you go back up and do the other half. So you have it even, nice and even on both sides.
And don't mind if your needle bends.
Oh, it will happen. It will curve.
Mine curved quite a bit.
Yes. It's because you're hugging your needle.
Look at, right at the end there.
Oh my goodness, that actually happened to me once too. And you still use it because actually it seems to work better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and we forgot to tell you before, after you put all your beads in here and you do that little loop at the bottom, you got to go up through all the beads again in order to how do you explain it? to start your next row. Probably be easier to show you on like up close and personal.
Up close and personal. Jess, what are you talking about? Up close and personal.
I don't know.
But we're going to try our best to explain and hope that you catch on to what we are saying, what we're explaining. That's why I wanted to take photos of where we're at, so hopefully the photos can help us explain what we're doing. I know that's why people do close-up videos so you can watch, but I can't work with a camera hovering over my head or near me. I'd like to do it this way. Like knowing if I were to screw something in the wall, knowing me, it'll fall and the camera will land on us. Or however they do their filming when they're showing how they do this. I'm just assuming the camera's over their head. Okay, so now I'm done the middle one. And see how it's just a slight little longer. Now I'm going to go back up. And the best way to do that is follow your last one. Then when you're done that one, count the beads and follow that one. So this way you don't mess up. So just basically count the same, going back up.
And you're just doing odd numbers.
Yes.
Well, something like that anyways.
Oh, which means by odd numbers is like if you're counting your fringes, always make sure there's an odd number because you're going to want that middle one. So that's what she means by odd numbers. You want your fringes to come out nice and evenly on each end. So that's why you do odd numbers. Well, yeah, this one's not looking too bad. I think the next one I'll make a little bit longer though. Whenever we do the next one. Because I find that it's not long enough for the dream catcher.
Oh, okay.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of looks... I should have done a little bit more on the green. Don't do what I did. But it still looks nice, don't get me wrong. I like the way that it looks in the sun. The way that it just, like you can just see through it. It's so pretty. I'm just going to leave it like that. Just kidding. I'm not going to change it. It is what it is. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beads because I have 10 in the middle. 10 white that I start off with in the middle. So now I'm going to do 8. And then I'm going to start taking off. So 7 white, 6, 5, so forth. Until I get back to number 3. Let's start off with 3 white beads. So that's how we're going to do that.
Okay. This, nah.
I really like Jess. This has turned out really nice. I was telling her earlier today that she's really good at mixing colors when it comes to beading. I have to download like palettes of how to mix colors because I'm a really good artist, don't get me wrong. Like I can paint things, I can draw things, but for some reason when it comes to beading I'm not good at mixing colors. No, but look at hers, they always come out so good, so pretty.
See, and that's when I add 2, that's how long it's going.
Blah, pretty. Blah, pretty.
Don't ask me how I do it, I just do.
Yeah, she's really good at that. So maybe I'll ask her to pick my colors next time. And mine will turn out nice and pretty too. But no, I like mine too. I love blue. I think most of our beads are blue, right?
Yeah.
So I think when we go to get stock up on beads next time, I think I'm going to get Jess to pick the colors this time. Because I always have a habit of picking blue, 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 blue. And I shouldn't be doing that because not everybody likes blue. So I'm doing 8 whites.
Mostly only for you men like blue.
It's my favorite because it reminds me of the sky and the water. That's why it's my favorite color. And I do love the sky. I take a lot of cloud photos. It's just so beautiful. And I'm always staring at the clouds. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So I have my 8 white beads now. Because I'm going to do the other half. So I'm going to be taking away a white bead every time. So I have 8 now, and then my next one is going to start off with 7 white. And so we're just going to end it there. Sort of, we're always cutting in and out. It's just that we want to make the video as short as possible, so you don't get bored. I'm hoping you don't get bored with us. Please don't. We don't want you to be bored. So, but yeah, we're just going to cut here, and then we'll come back just as we're finishing at the end. Okay, so we managed to finish it up. So we finished off, see, we started with 3, and I added 1 bead, and the rest of the pattern, it all stayed the same. The middle one, I added 2 extra, see, 8 and then 10, so it hangs down a little slightly lower. And then when I went back up, I subtracted 1 bead. So basically just following the same pattern on the other side, just so you don't mess up. And then when I was done, what I meant about weaving, so when I bring up my thread through here, and then I would weave it up and down these beads, and then cut off around over here, because you want to keep that tight. You don't want it to fall apart eventually. Just like when I started off here, in order for me to come out here, I weaved through I think I did 2. Yeah, I weaved through 2, and I started over here. So my end of the thread is here, and I'm weaving it through the 2 beads, so my thread comes out here. And then when I ended up with short thread, the leftover thread, I would weave up and down the 2 bottom ones here, the 2 blue, back and forth, and then I would start over here weaving between the blue ones so I can come back out this way and then start off again. And that way you don't see any tie off or any ties anywhere on it, except for that part where I tied my thread. So that's the back. And then for the top, what Jess had showed you earlier is that, again, I weaved my fire line so I can come up through here, and then I added 4, 8, 12 beads, just different way, and then come down here, and then I weave through up through here, and then up through these 2, and then did a couple rounds just to make sure that the top is snug and won't snap. We do have keychains, stuff that we do put on. It's just like a little ring, and then you put it on here, and then you have it as a keychain, or you can just clip it to hang it on your mirror in your car or anywhere in the house. And so thank you, Jess, for showing us how to make these lovely Dreamcatcher keychains. Really nice. And Jess is just finishing up hers.
Just one more.
Yeah, she just needs one more and she's all done. See, that's what she means about me catching up so fast. But these are the Dreamcatchers, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope we explained it properly. But I am going to put diagrams, some drawings to see, so you can see how the thread goes. And yeah, thank you for tuning into our channel, and I hope to see you in our next video. We're going to be making something different. We're going to be making keychain hearts.